Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday morning on the Stone Ranch, and I say that sarcastically. I do not live on a ranch. So it's July 23rd, and I want to go over a few things that have recently happened. One is I went to the grocery store this morning, and my debit card wouldn't work. We tried it several times. It was not being declined. The money was there. It just wasn't going through. Thank God I had another card that I was able to use with me. I mean, I don't normally take cash to the grocery store. I've never had that situation, truly. But I do kind of wonder if I hadn't have had a card that would work, what would I have done with my groceries? I didn't have enough important stuff that I would have been like, oh my God, I'm going to run back and get cash and I'll be back and pay for it. I walked there. So I kind of questioned whether it would have been worth it to run home or just to tell them, you know what, stick it back on the shelf because there's not anything here that I have to have. And I don't know. I'm just, I don't know what I would have done in that circumstance. But that does not still create a problem for some people if they don't have an extra card that they can use to pay for their groceries when the time comes. Let's see, what else? So I posted two pictures on the community tab this morning of a very bizarre looking storm that was coming my way. And I knew we are supposed to have some severe storms come in the middle of the night tonight. I didn't know that we were supposed to have storms today, but when I walked to the grocery store, the sky did look kind of funny and it was very humid out, and so I'm not super surprised. But I happened to notice it was like getting really dark outside, and I looked out the window and I saw the sky looking like the two pictures that I posted. That storm cloud shelf, I think is what they call it. And I came in to post that on my community tab, and literally within 5 minutes or so, it even got darker and blacker outside, and I went out on the balcony and it started blowing really hard, and I was literally on the balcony having a talk with the weather gods, you could call it. I don't know. I mean, this is what it felt like. The wind was blowing pretty hard. I mean, I've seen it worse, but the trees were all kind of whipping around, and it was not raining. That was the weird part. There was just a lot of wind, and it was very, very black and dark out. And I'm standing out on my balcony having a talk with the wind, trying to calm it down. Like, we don't need any damage. You don't need to be mad at us. It's not us that is causing this problem. And kind of just, like I would with an animal that was upset or whatever, or a child that was upset. I have come to realize that we are very connected with the sky, the sun, all of that stuff. So I'm finding myself having conversations with the air, with the rain, with the sun. And so this is my thought, is if we had evil spirits in our home, we would try to get rid of that, right? And if we have evil spirits in the air and the sky and whatever, would you not try to get rid of that as well? Or are you of the theory, like a lot of people, that we have no control over what the weather does? I am starting to believe differently, literally since I did that past life reading. I think it was a month ago, when there was a girl that was helping go around with some farmers who were struggling and how to kind of manipulate the weather in their favor. So I am finding that I am learning how to communicate with that again. And so I want to encourage you guys, if you find yourself in the middle of a major storm, start communicating with the sky, the rain, the wind, the air, all of that, to see if you can get it calmed down if it is at a level that you are uncomfortable with. if it looks like it's about ready to destroy or break trees or ruin crops or whatever. So at the moment, this moved over fairly quickly, didn't drop any rain on us, and it's not looking too bad at the moment. There is a lot of stuff north of us that's looking a little hairy, but it'll be, time will tell if what happens in the middle of the night, because I don't know how long me talking to this will last. Another thing I want to discuss is Ashley Sage Era Esoterics. You can find one of your favorite truthers on there. They did a deep dive yesterday, so it feels like a little bit of normal coming back for those of you or us that are missing one of our favorite people. So if you haven't found that yet, although it looks like 38,000 people have found it, so it seems like it's making the rounds, and most people have figured out that will where you might be able to find her without having to pay anything, for those who are against that. And one last thing, I didn't write down the name of this, and this just kind of cropped up on my news feed this morning, and this is happening in Indianapolis right now. The company that owns these apartment complexes are out of Georgia, I believe. I need to do a little bit more investigation, but I happened to see this thing. Apparently it's like JCP or JPC, Affordable Housing something, and they own they own a bunch of apartment complexes, but apparently they own at least 4 in the Indianapolis area. And they stopped paying the water bills. So like in my apartment complex, when I pay my monthly bill, I have sewer and water, and my internet's included in on that. So a lot of things are all lumped in one payment. And apparently people who were paying their rent were, even though they were doing their share and paying what they were supposed to be, the people that owned these complexes were not paying the water bill. And now it's been a good year and a half since the water bill has been paid. And I guess it's maybe Citizens Gas and Citizens Water, I'm not sure who's in charge of the water in these particular locations, are getting ready to shut off water and natural gas to these apartment complexes where the owners have not paid their utility bills for a long time, and they're blaming it on COVID-19 and that a lot of people weren't paying their rent. And so that is a situation, a big situation. So it sounds like Indianapolis bailed them out once, but now Indianapolis doesn't seem like they want to help bail them out. So I'm not sure what is going to happen with that. But if that is happening here in Indianapolis, that's probably happening in other places as well, because as someone who, took a nosedive back when the market tanked in 2008, 9, 10-ish, there's been a handful of times when I couldn't pay my bills. I got my car repossessed, and it was just me that I was worried about. But at the same time, some of these places maybe use their money inappropriately. So I don't know. I'm just going to say that we need to send some good well wishes to people that might be in that situation right now. They're probably going to have to find another place to live. And so anyway, I just wanted to bring that to somebody's attention. So if that is something that is a potential in your place where you live, keep an eye on that. You might even go to, I don't even know how you would do that to make sure that the people that own your place, this could be a situation for anybody who is renting and is not in charge of all of the bills. So it's just something to keep an eye on. Do not assume that everybody in the world is of good cloth and that they are going to bend over backwards to make sure you are safe and sound over themselves, or you know what I'm trying to say. I think that is it at the moment. One last thing. I am probably in the morning or later this afternoon, I'm probably going to be making a post again about opening up my appointment book for more past life readings. I have a 2 o'clock scheduled today. I may take tomorrow off and just post that and then start up next weekend. So if you guys, if there's any of you thinking that you want to get on that, keep an eye out for that. And I think that is it. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I will talk to you later. Bye.